Very good afternoon, friends. In the last lecture we have covered buckling of columns. In today's lecture we will see or we will start the torsion. What is meant by torsion? Already we have seen the sum formulae in the unit number 3. First we will go into the torsion. What is meant by torsion? See, here I have considered one bar is given length L, AB is the bar, okay. See, here is a couple is produced on this shaft, okay. The couple, or we can say the member is subjected to the couple which produce the couple of its longitudinal axis, this couple which produce the rotation about its longitudinal axis AB is known as a torsion or twisting moment. Okay, very simple definition. A member which is subjected to the couple which produce rotation about its longitudinal axis is known as torsion or twisting moment. It is denoted by the capital T. And unit is Newton mm, or we can write Newton meter. You can use any one unit, Newton mm or Newton meter. I can write here T is equal to tau by Zp. What is the tau? Tau is the shear stress. We have seen the unit number 1, unit number 3. Okay, shear stress. Tau is the shear stress. This unit is a Newton per mm square. And what is the Zp? Yes, anyone? Also we have seen the unit number 3. Zp is the polar sectional modulus. What is the Zp? Polar sectional modulus. Okay, you have to calculate that value. Polar sectional modulus is equal to, it is the ratio of polar moment of inertia to the radius of that shaft is known as a polar sectional modulus. Okay, all of you getting what is meant by torsion? You should remember the torsion definition. A member which is subjected to the couple which produce the rotation about its longitudinal axis is known as a twisting moment or torsion. Okay, it is denoted by T. T is equal to tau by Zp. Zp is the polar sectional modulus, and again we can write J divided by R. Unit is Newton mm or Newton meter. Then see, as you have given the derivation, we will skip this derivation. You should remember this only one formula in the unit number 4. Okay, T by J is equal to G theta by L is equal to tau by R. What is the T? T is the torque acting on this shaft. This is given Newton meter. Then what is the J? J is the polar moment of inertia. What is the unit of that polar moment of inertia? Yes, anybody? Polar moment of inertia is nothing but it is the summation of moment of inertia in x-axis plus moment of inertia in y-axis. Means unit is a mm raised to 4, or we can write the meter raised to 4. What is the G? All of you know modulus of rigidity. Unit number 1 we have seen modulus of rigidity. What is the unit of that? Newton per meter square. Unit is very important. You should remember the meaning, also units. Then what is the theta? Theta is the angle of twist. See, I have shown here cross section of this shaft. Okay, here is the longitudinal axis B, AB is the longitudinal axis. Check that when you apply the some torque, okay, or couple, then this will be shift here. You will get the B dash. And this angle is called as a theta angle. Okay, this angle is called as a twisting angle. You know this angle is given in radian. If you have given in degree, then also you have to convert it to the radian. Okay, remember that. You know there is a formula pi into 1 by 80 divided by pi is there. Okay, theta is 2. You can convert this into degree. Okay, or vice versa. Then what is the tau? Tau is equal to shear stress. Shear stress. What is the unit of shear stress? Newton per meter square or MPa. What is the R? R is the radius of that shaft. Radius shaft. This is given in meter. And what is the L? L is the length of the shaft. Length of the shaft. Okay, this is also given in meter because I have written all the value in Newton, meter or meter in the form of meter. So you have to write all the value in meter. Okay, all of you getting the meter. What is the torsion formula? T by J is equal to T theta by M is equal to tau by R. This is the torsion formula. With the help of this formula, you can calculate each and every value. You know the meaning of this and units. Okay, we'll skip the derivation. Then next is the assumptions made in the theory of the torsion. There are some assumptions are made before going on the solving the numericals. You have to consider. Okay, shaft, first assumption is a shaft should be perfectly straight. Okay, shaft should be perfectly straight and uniform in cross section Okay, the shaft always should be perfectly straight, not bent. Okay, and uniform in cross section. If you have checked the cross section here, you will get the same cross section of that shaft. This is the first assumption. Shaft should be perfectly straight and uniform in cross section. Then what about the material? Okay, so we have seen in the shear stresses. What is the material? There are two types of the material. The material should be homogeneous. Material, we'll write in short. Material should be homogeneous. And second is a material should be isotropic. What is the meaning of the homogeneous? You know the homogeneous material? Yes, anybody? Homogeneous means uniform material. You will get the uniform uniform composition of that material throughout. Uniform composition of the material throughout. You can take the example of the glass. Certain plastic is there. Okay, is there, etc. This is the example of the homogeneous material. You should remember this material should be uniform composition throughout. Okay, this is called homogeneous. Then what is isotropic? You will get the same property in the x direction, y direction and z direction in the isotropic material. X, y, z direction you will get the same property, or we can say the identical property of the material. Means if you have checked in the x, y and z direction, if you have checked here is the stress, then you will get the same stress in the y direction, then same stress in the z direction also. If you have checked the strain, you will get the same strain in the all the direction. If you have checked the modulus of elasticity, you will get the same value. This material is called as a isotropic material. Means second assumption is the material should be homogeneous and isotropic. Okay. Third is a circular shafts remain circular. Circular shaft remain circular. Okay, circular shaft remains circular before and after twisting. After twisting. Okay, what you have to consider? The circular shaft is a remains circular before and after twisting. See, when you are acting the couple on that shaft, this shaft will be bent, but you have to consider here circular shaft remain circular before and after twisting. Okay, twisting. You have to consider this is the third assumption. Means we will consider the as it is that shaft, circular shaft. And last one is a plain section of the shaft. Plain section of the shaft remain plain before and after twisting. Before and after twisting. Okay, you have to consider the fourth assumption is a plain section of the shaft remain plain. Okay, plain section of the shaft remain plain before and also after twisting this shaft. Okay, you should remember these four assumptions. I will repeat this. Shaft should be perfectly straight and uniform in cross section. Okay. Second is the material should be homogeneous and isotropic. Then third is the circular shaft remains circular after before and after twisting. And fourth is a plain section of the shaft remains plain before and after twisting. You should remember that four assumptions. Okay. What is the example of the torsion? Yes, anybody? Example of the torsion. I will give the one example. Axle of wheel. Okay. Or you can say the fan. Fan is there. Okay. This is the example of the torsion. Axle of wheel. This axle is here is mounted and this wheel is rotating. Okay. Same thing is here. We are a couple here. This is one side is a fixed and this is rotating. Okay, this is called as a torsion. Okay, all of you getting what is meant by torsion? Yes. The next one will require the some formulae. When you solving the numerical, then we will require the some formulae. Okay, which formulae will require or how to calculate that value? We will see the details. Yes, check that. First is the polar moment of inertia. What is the polar moment of inertia? Polar moment of inertia. It is polar moment of inertia is nothing but it is the summation of Ixx and Iyy. Okay, this is the polar moment of inertia, and unit is meter raised to 4 or mm raised to 4. Okay, remember that polar moment of inertia, it is nothing but the summation of the Ixx and Iyy. Okay, you know the what is the Ixx and what is the Iyy, and it is denoted by the J. I will make for the polar moment of inertia for the solid shaft, and here is a hollow shaft. What is the value of solid and hollow shaft? Check that. I will draw the figure. Yes, this is for solid cross section, and this is for the hollow shaft. Okay, I will consider the inside circle diameter d, small d, and outside circle diameter capital D. And here is a, I will consider the d is the diameter in the solid shaft. Then how to calculate that? What is the formula? J is equal to Ixx plus Iyy. Okay. First you have to check the given figure is a symmetric or not. This figure is symmetric. If you have taken the x section, you will get the same portion above the neutral axis and below the neutral axis. Here is also you will get the same portion, this side and that side. Okay. So you will get the J is equal to what? 2i. J is equal to 2i. These both are same. I plus I. You will get the 2i. Again I will put what is the I for the circular section. Yes, anybody? Yes. Yes, correct. Pi by 64 into d raised to 4. We have seen the unit number 3. Right? Pi by 64 into d raised to 4. Then what is the value of that? 2 into pi by, here you get the 32. Pi by 32 into d raised to 4. This is the polar moment of inertia in the meters raised to 4. Okay. Similar way for the hollow shaft, J is equal to, again you will get the 2i. Again put the value of I. What is the value of I? Pi by 64 into d raised to 4 minus d raised to 4. Yes, check that. You know, we are already seen this part. Then you will get the pi by 32 into d raised to 4 minus d raised to 4 in bracket J is equal to. Okay guys, when you solving the numerical, then you know the polar moment of inertia value for the solid shaft and as well as hollow shaft. Okay, all of you getting J is equal to pi by 32 into d raised to 4 minus d raised to 4. Then next is a polar sectional modulus. It is denoted by what? ZP. We have seen the polar sectional modulus. It is denoted by the ZP. Polar sectional modulus. It is denoted by the ZP. And what is the ZP is equal to? ZP is equal to, it is the ratio of polar moment of inertia to the radius of that shaft. Okay, and what is the unit? Unit is a meter cube or mm cube. Meter cube or mm cube. ZP is equal to J by R is there. Again, you can calculate the ZP value for the solid and hollow shaft. Okay, what is for ZP? ZP is equal to, already we have calculated the J value. What is the value of J? Pi by 32 for the solid into d raised to 4. What is the value of R? Yes, for the solid. What is the value of R? Radius value for the solid? D by 2. D by 2. Then you will get ZP is equal to what you will get? Pi d it cancel. You will get the d cube divided by 16. Okay, you should remember this value. You will get the direct answer. For the polar sectional modulus, ZP is equal to pi d cube divided by 16. Similar way for the hollow shaft, we have calculated the value of J. Okay, polar moment of inertia. J is equal to pi by 32. I will put here this value. Pi by 32 into d raised to 4 minus d raised to 4. Capital D raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4 divided by d by 2 is there. D by 2 is there. Capital D by 2 is there. Okay. Then what you will get? This. If you are solving this, then you will get the pi into d raised to 4 minus d raised to 4 divided by this 2 means you will get the 16d. 16d. You should remember these two formulas are very important. When you are solving the numericals, then check that the formula T by J is equal to G theta by L is equal to tau by R is there. It is T by J is equal to G theta by L. Again check that. What is the ZP is equal to? You should use sometimes this first relation only. T by J is equal to G theta by L, or sometimes you have to use T by J is equal to tau by R. Okay, then you can easily calculate. ZP means what again? T is equal to, I will write J by R into tau. What is the J by R? Again ZP. Again ZP. Okay, all of you getting? Yes. Yes, all of you getting? Yes, very good. Then next, all of you getting this one? Any doubt? Yes, then we will go ahead. There are some numericals are given. You know the how to calculate the power. Yes, next is that we want to calculate the power of shaft. Okay, power of shaft. Then how to calculate the power of shaft? This formula also will require power, or we can give the heading power transmitted by shaft. Okay, power is denoted by P. And what is the unit of the power? Yes, you know that the unit of the power is kilowatt or watt. Okay, then what is the definition of the power? How to calculate? Power is nothing but you will get the average torque. It is the multiplication of average torque and angle of twist is there, or we can say the angle of rotation per second. Okay, we have to calculate the angle of rotation per second. Average torque, or it is also called as a mean torque, T mean. Means you will get the 2 pi nt divided by 60 is there. This value you will get in watt. T is equal to, what is the T? T is the torque. Torque you will get in Newton meter. Okay, what is the N? This N you will get the rotation of the shaft. Rotation of the shaft you will get in RPM, revolution per minute. Okay, or angle of rotation you can calculate the per second. Okay, you know the relation 1 HP is equal to how much watt? 746 watt horsepower. You should remember the relation 1 HP is equal to 746 watt. 746 watt. Okay, all of you getting the relation? This is the power. How to calculate? Power is equal to average torque, or we can say the T mean. Okay, you can calculate also maximum torque with the help of that T mean. 2 pi nt divided by 60 is there. Then next is the torsional rigidity. It is denoted by the K. Okay, how to calculate that torsional rigidity? K is equal to, I will give the torsional rigidity. Torsional rigidity is denoted by the K. Torsional rigidity, it is denoted by the K, is nothing but the product of modulus of rigidity into polar moment of inertia. Modulus of rigidity into polar moment of inertia, and it is denoted by the K, and unit is Newton meter square. Okay, check that. What is the unit of G? Newton per meter square. What is the unit of this J? Meter raised to 4. Then you get the Newton meter square. Torsional rigidity, sometimes in the examination you have to calculate the value of torsional rigidity. It is denoted by K. K is equal to G into J. Okay, all of you getting how to calculate the torsional rigidity? It is the G into J. Then next we will see the strength of the shaft. How to calculate the strength of the shaft? Strength of shaft denoted by the T. Strength of the shaft, the ability of the shaft to resist the action of the twisting movement. What is meant by strength of the shaft? The ability of the shaft to resist the twisting movement. Hence you will get the T is equal to tau into ZP. Tau is the shear stress and ZP is the polar sectional modulus. This value you will get in, what is the unit of this? Newton meter. Tau into ZP. How to calculate the strength of the shaft? When you are acting the couple on the given shaft, and this couple you have to check how to resist this shaft. Okay, up to which value this shaft will be resist. This is called as the strength of the shaft. Then next is the torsional stiffness. Torsional stiffness. The torsional stiffness, yes, anybody? Torsional stiffness, it is the torque required to produce of the twisting angle. Okay, it is the torque required to produce unit angle of twist. Unit angle of twist means what? We will get the G into J divided by L. Means you know the formula, T by J is equal to G theta by L. T by J is equal to G theta by L. Then you will get the torsional stiffness. Means if the couple is rotated in 1 degree, then how much torsional stiffness we will get? How to calculate this theta value? Yes, Gj divided by L. Gj divided by L. Okay, all of you getting? This is it is the torque required to produce the unit angle. Unit means what? Unit angle of twist means, unit angle of twist is the 1. You should remember this some formulae. With the help of this formulae, we can solve the numericals easily. Okay. Today we will stop here. Next lecture we will solve the numerical on the torsional formula. All of you getting that basic thing? You should remember the definition of the torsion. You should remember the assumptions. Then you should remember how to calculate the polar moment of inertia as well as polar sectional modulus for the solid as well as hollow section, both value. Then you know how to calculate the power. Power is equal to 2 pi Nt divided by 60. Then you know what is the torsional rigidity. It is the product of the modulus of rigidity and polar moment of inertia, and it is denoted by the K. And how to calculate the strength of the shaft? T is equal to tau into Zp. Okay. And torsional stiffness is equal to G into J divided by L is there. Means you have to calculate for this value for unit angle. Okay, unit angle. Okay, today we will stop here. Next lecture we will see the numericals. You have to sometimes remember the conversion in the if you have given the 1 radian is equal to 1 radian into 180 by pi is equal to, you will get the degree value. Sometimes you have to convert the degree to radian. You should remember the relation. Today we will stop here. Next lecture we will see the numerical. Thank you.